Boop. Boop. Hello?
Hello.
How
There
many
we
weeks has
go.
it been since we last heard a boop boop?
Too many.
Too many weeks.
3?
I apologise for the delay in returning to our usual programming. Most of it was my fault for being unwell to
How
varying
dare
degrees.
you?
But we're back.
How could you?
What are you, an
Wait.
American apologizing for being sick? No, I'm kidding.
But we're back. We're back to playing some Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm turning down this little song a little bit because it's lovely, but it do be loud. We are returning to Housebound Adventuring, our wonderful, usually weekly D&D game. I often reflect on how lucky I am to have such a regular game scheduled, because let's be honest, it's a tough world out there for most usual D&D gamers, so we're very lucky.
Like clockwork.
And, well, yeah, it's a dodgy clock.
Until it breaks down. It needs lots of maintenance. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Like me.
The last time that we played, you guys had just finished up a big old dungeon, a nice little bit of a dungeon in our Dungeons and Dragons, which is a thing in itself. Dungeons, people are moving away from dungeons in Dungeons and Dragons, which I think is a bit of a shame.
Because everyone's shifting to dragons.
Yeah, more dragons. This particular dungeon was an underwater temple of Crenea, and it was the quest that you had been given, a side quest upon a side quest, where you had been asked very kindly if you would poke around at this temple, retrieve the rod of the chosen Myrmidea, which is an artifact of some power, and hopefully in so doing resolve whatever horrible, no good, corrupt, bad dude kind of stuff has going on.
Horrible, no good, very bad day.
Yeah,
Very bad dude.
there seems to be kind of interfering with the pools, the spawning pools that the kind of axolotl waterish fae were using here at the Maelstrom. Fortunately, funnily enough, you did go into this temple underground and find a massive kraken beast in the center of it, protecting a throne room that was being used by a plane traveling ancient beast named Conlectus. This particular entity was especially malevolent and tried to give you all sorts of tastes and temptations that might sway you to his cause. In that, we experienced a few kind of tempting, future-esque kind of scenarios where our players were shown visions of what a future might be if they aided Conlectus, such as images of Nerly sat with her kind of parental figure, which we now recognize to be some kind of angel form named Seraphina. We saw Haiku, who was the most tempted, I suspect, by some information that was about to be shared about the quest, the family quest, a particular artifact that Haiku's family has been pursuing for generations upon generations upon generations, and it was about to be revealed when we were swept away. Randall had some visions of coming to the end of this kind of journey, coming to the far side of this weird, bizarre story that we've got going on, where a member of his family, his uncle, is being erased from history, from everything. And Oro had a moment of discomfort with Hilda, where she had reunited with her mother figure as an owner of her own circus, and bumping into Elrond Felaros, the wizard, the lover of Hilda, and seeing all sorts of interesting lore-related things in the background that we didn't get a chance to poke into.
What
You
shame.
guys felled Conlectus, killed him dead, and then poked around the ruins. You found a little bit of gold, which is nice. You found a sword, which you are not currently attuned to, a flame tongue scimitar, and an iron stone. Who's got the iron stone?
I did.
Early for now. Okay, fantastic. And then we decided we were going to leave. It took a little while to get around all the doors and the moral quandaries of picking up people's loot. But we got out of there eventually. And we're going to start today's session with you guys having left that particular dungeon and dealing with the world outside once again. But before we begin our game, we will do our prompts. And today's prompt was given to us by Grace in the Discord. What costume would your TTRPG character wear to a Halloween party? Originally tweeted by @RileyGRYC on Twitter. So, that's what we're doing today because it's spooky weekend. And then we'll,
That's right.
What?
then we'll move on. Okay, right. Hi everyone in chat, by the way. How's it going? Hope you're all well. Glad to be back playing some D&D. And glad to hear some more prompts from my players. Nerly. What would Nerly have as a costume?
So hilariously, I think that she doesn't. I feel like she's imaginative, but that's limited to like the scope of the things she's experienced, and not wanting to dress up like any of the like monsters that they faced or anything. I think that she would dress up like a mushroom person.
Oh, okay. I like
Not
that.
an exploding
That's
windmill.
cute.
You say an exploding one?
Yeah.
Exploding windmill, he said. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, especially because Nerdy has like a lot of though it's maybe toned down in day to day. Her background is more wildernessy, right? Not fully wildernessy, but a lot more kind of nature based, kind of wilderness, picking herbs and fruits and all sorts, scavenging for food.
Yeah.
Can't think of the word that I'm looking for that describes that
Foraging?
perfectly right now. Foraging. Thank you. There we
Yeah.
go. Let's cycle through the vocabulary. I like it. I like it a lot. Haiku. What would Haiku dress up as?
Halloween costumes, at least in Haiku's head, are meant to be scary. You meant to dress up as something scary. And what's the scariest thing that a Haiku can think of? It's a turtle.
Nice.
Goddamn
Okay.
terrifying.
What's so terrifying about turtles?
They're like Haiku, but they can swim and breathe underwater. It's
How,
very
how would
unsettling.
That's very
Haiku dress up
unsettling.
as a turtle?
Well, it's exceedingly simple. They can just put flippers on their
Ha
hands.
ha ha.
Hands, we'll call them
Yeah,
hands.
yeah, sure.
Hop feet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it is established at this point that Haiku's phobia is of turtles, so that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a very functional thing to just like kind of to dress up as, which is also plays into the Haiku kind of mindset, right?
Yeah, well, they like to dress up as a turtle who likes to collect things. You know, it really cuts down on costs.
Cuts down on costs. That's Sarah. I like that a lot. Okay. Grace, you getting a costume? Did you go and get the remaining piece? Well, I want to hear about your costume. That's awesome. What else? Randall. What would Randall dress up as?
So, Randall would think about classic Halloween things, and you can't get much more classic than the skeleton. But Randall wouldn't dress up as a skeleton.
Oh.
What he'd actually dress up as is a spine, but the spine of a book.
Book. Yeah.
So you go from a skeleton to a spine to the spine of a book,
I love it.
and then
That's
be
really
amazed that
good.
nobody got the joke.
That's really good. I really like that a
Slightly
lot.
disappointed.
That's
Oh.
so good. Oh man, I like that a lot. Okay, that's so good. Excellent answer. All right, Oro. Oro, what would Oro dress up as?
I think Oro and Nugget would go as each other for Halloween. I think they would dress up as each other. Like Oro would have a big, like, fuzzy white coat on with like a nose made out of cardboard or something like that, and all
I like
painted
that
in
so
green
much.
and stuff. Dyed in green.
That's perfect. Excellent answers, everybody. Okay, back to playing some D&D.
Jesus.
We got all sorts to get through.
Mhm.
You know, we've got a huge mystery on our hands, so we need to get out of this Feywild, this pesky Feywild. Although it's been very insightful, we've learned a lot about ourselves, our wants, our needs, our desires, and also, you know, perhaps a little bit about our past and maybe even our future. We've been here for long enough, and when our players arrived here, pretty much the only reason that they're still here is because a couple of members of our party got cursed.
Mm-hmm.
The portals that they used to travel here, inadvertently, they were tricked into traveling here by a fairy dragon named Sirshifa. When you arrived, we had Nugget and Haiku cursed. And the curse has two kind of caveats to it. That is that you seemingly cannot leave the Feywild. And if you stay here for too long, you will turn into a tree.
Great.
That seems
It's
to
a real
be
pickle.
that seems to be the side effects of this curse so far. Not amazing, or the effects of this curse.
That's what you're into.
Now those are probably not ideal. Most people would consider that not ideal. And you are aware that somebody somewhere will be able to help you with this. You were originally directed to talking to the Ursine King, who said, "Sure, no worries, happy to help you, but you will do this thing for me because fuck you." Everyone that you've interacted with in the Feywild so far has been very transactional in nature, and though they don't seem to be interested in money necessarily, they do seem to be very much interested in favors and all sorts of esoteric things. Now, you are currently collecting tributes from a number of minor courts around the Ursine Court, who some of them seem to be genuinely okay with that. They seem to think that, yeah, okay, I would pay tribute to the Ursine King. Others, not quite as much. Once arriving to the Maelstrom, which is the second of the 3 tributes that you needed to collect, Crenea, the archfey of this particular area, said, "Sure, no problem. Happy to. But could you maybe do a thing for me?" That's what I mean by our side quests upon side quests. Now, we have successfully completed this particular request, and we are hoping that we can get out of this particular area and move on so we can eventually leave the Feywild, get this curse removed from us.
Go up the stack of side quests.
Yeah, keep moving up. So you guys step out of this underwater temple and temple of Crenea underneath the Maelstrom, and it is, as it always is, dawn or dusk. It's currently dusk. You can see the twinkling stars and the forever setting sun, and on the horizon you can see the Maelstrom. You can still see the kind of the coral shoal-esque features of the buildings ahead of you. But apart from that, nobody around. You can hear the pitter-patter, the gently, quietly moving streams around you, the quietly whooshing, kind of muted sounds of the waterfalls that are too comfortably sloshing into the pools beneath them, almost as if they are kind of like aware that it's nighttime and it's time to be quiet. But it's like comforting but unnatural.
I like it. Did anybody else have like a vision when we walked through those doors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we?
I think I saw into the future. Possibly. All I know is I was back home, which is very unusual. Like home, not mansion home.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but there was like a sense of a possible future to it. With
Mine was
aspects that were
definitely-
real. Go
Mine
ahead.
was definitely future.
Well, I guess we better find the steward, huh?
Yeah. Also, now we're out the water, mine and Nugget's curses will begin to spread again. It's the water was stopping it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to move away from this place at some point.
Yeah.
Somewhat dreading.
Can we like fix something onto you to cover where it is? To like
have like a flannel. It could take like
Yeah.
a bottle of the water. Just keep it damp the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. That could
We
work.
could try.
I think. Tom?
The face is exciting.
If you want to try and have an estimate of whether or not that will work, you're welcome to try an Arcana check.
Oh, go on.
But I would also not stop you from doing it regardless.
We'll talk it through together. If that helps and gives advantage. Not that it's when Haiku rolls an Arcana check.
You are fairly certain that kind of treating yourself over time with the waters of the Maelstrom, which you have seen to have healing properties, or at least the properties of kind of holding disease or curses in kind of status. Like they're not curing it, but they're stopping it from progressing. You are fairly certain that it would have a positive effect, but almost definitely not as strong as the, forever submission or being submerged. Submersion?
Okay. Yeah, I mean that might not be as effective, but it's better than now. Get a couple of bottles or jugs of the water, and maybe like some cloth so we can like dab it on every now and then.
Yeah.
Worth a shot. It's not going to make things worse, is it?
Is it?
Hello.
Oh, I have 2 empty vials, so I fill that with water.
Nice.
I bet I have some of those too.
Yeah, I've got one of those bottles from the Cloud place. I'll fill that up.
I have a full one of those still. I'm holding on to it for some reason. Like it'll matter.
Be the only one of those that actually does something when you drink it.
That's the cure. It's been with us the entire time.
Do we still have gills, by the way?
Yes.
We should wait for our gills to go away, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Before we
Yes,
wander into town with gills.
Wait,
Oh,
the
yeah.
steward didn't seem to have an issue with us.
Yeah, but he was like,
Um,
"It's don't talk about it." But
Don't.
if we don't know about it, we don't know
Oh.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we go to see him, he goes, "Are they gills?" He goes, "No, sword slashes."
Do you think that
Wink.
an aquatic society would not know? I think they would know.
They would know, particularly for their sacred blobs of whatever they are.
Of bad almond milk.
Yeah.
Also, you'd have to do a deception check, Haiku, and I don't think that would go very well.
The meta response.
No, I can't decept very well.
I don't think I can either.
Decept very well.
Can't decept or stealth anywhere. It's got to be honest and obvious.
Honest and obvious.
Everyone wear a scarf. See, here we are. Canucks thinking outside the box. Were there any scarves in the marketplace?
What? We
We'd
can't
have
go in
to
there.
go
and get
to town.
scarves.
Oh, of course.
What if they just then think that we've all got love bites around and then we're scandalous?
That's
Is
worse.
that worse? Yeah.
It's not like we're ever going to come back here, is it? It's like,
Well, definitely not if that happens.
we should be treated as heroes. We've just done that. We've nearly died for them.
Yeah, we made out with all of those bad guys to get out.
Oh, all those zombie fish.
And there wasn't one bard in the party, for the record, making their way out through
Making out their way.
making
That in itself gives you a disadvantage on any deception checks because it's just no one's going to believe that.
Yeah.
Should we just sleep out here then? And because it'll be gone by then, right? After a long sleep.
Yeah, it was only lasted like 24 hours or something, right?
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I think it was a day.
Yeah, that sounds right. I could use a nap,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know.
We should
Got a
still
lot
take
of writing
watches.
to do.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay. Is there a nice place around here to set up a little camp?
I mean, the mouth of the like the cave that you've just come out of is fairly well sheltered, but it is also extremely moist.
Non-ideal sleeping area.
Not ideal.
Oh, I don't see how that's an issue.
But all around this area is like mostly like it would be more marshy than anything else. It's like the pools of water, like just lots of very numerous ponds that are miraculously having these waterfalls kind of streaming off of some higher elevated area of the Feywild that are miraculously filling up these pools but never overflowing. So ideal to sleep to, because the sound of the gently pouring water is very nice, but you will need to pee a lot.
But is it like so marshy we can't like?
No, you can find somewhere to sleep, but you're
Right.
also like you're not that far from town. But if you went into town, gilled up after explicitly
People would
being
ask some
told not
questions.
to gill up. For those of you who are confused about this apparently not allowing to be having gills in this particular town, it's because these individuals. There was a sacred fruit that was being grown in the Temple of Crenea, Gem of the Sea, and the Gem of the Sea gives non-aquatic people gills, and they were told not to eat them, and then they ate them.
We were told
They were
not
told-
to eat them.
Don't eat them.
Don't eat them, don't get the gills, so that you don't drown.
Don't tell anybody about it, at the very least.
Yeah.
How long have we been in there? Do we know?
Years.
Any?
That's the difficult thing about being in the Feywild. It's very difficult to try to estimate. However, bearing in mind that you were originally trying to kind of mete out those, what were they called? The weed,
No.
not gillyweed.
Bubble kelp.
Bubble
Bubble
kelp.
kelp.
God damn it.
You were using bubble kelp very judiciously to ensure that you could properly time how long you were in there.
I did
Yeah.
that last time
Estimate.
too.
It's you that got that in my head as opposed to the bubble kelp. You estimate you've been in there about 12 hours.
Okay.
Oh well, damn! No wonder I'm tired. Let's go. Let's have a sleep. I'm good with sleeping wherever.
Mhm.
Katie likes a more humid environment. For voice reasons. So, I'm
Okay.
sleeping in something humid.
Okay, yeah.
Anyone else got any comments about where you're sleeping?
I don't like it too humid. Like if it's a pond,
Well, yeah.
that's
Good.
too humid.
Don't have to sleep in the pond. Could you sleep by the waterfalls? The weirdly quiet and soothing waterfalls.
I'm sure there's a
Oh,
rock
yeah.
somewhere you can sleep on.
It's
Like a lizard
Yeah.
warming
Yeah.
themselves in the
It's-
sun.
on a rock.
Okay, so am I right in saying that you guys find maybe a slightly firmer part of the ground
Yeah,
Mhm.
please.
near these waterfalls, but not underneath them, not in the water, not too wet. You're nice and
Not too
slept
dry.
up.
Yeah.
You,
I don't mind being in the
nice.
water sleeping. It's like being at home.
Yeah, I mean haiku maybe then. Haiku.
Won't you drown?
Well, I can sleep.
Or
my
are
head
you a
above the water.
turtle?
What?
Uh,
I'm nightmares now. Wake up and focus.
Okay. So you sleep very well. After having such a near-death experience for some of us, and quite a taxing dungeon crawl, our party emerged from their slumber feeling much more rested than they had for a while now. In fact, this is probably the only place that you've slept in, for a good while, apart from the times that you've slept in the maelstrom itself, where you felt very, very deeply peaceful. It's everywhere else that you've slept, you've been very aware, you've kind of had shifts, and you've been like, okay, we're in danger regardless. Let's try and get the hours that we can get so that we're functional human beings, or functional people at least. Maybe not human beings. Functional people, but in kind of always on edge, right? And whilst you were sleeping in the town itself, you were surrounded, and you kind of have that protection of civilization, and you were in a community that's very clearly, not quite. It's not capitalist, so you don't feel anyone would have any real overt reasons to like mug you in the night or anything. Like you slept fine.
A collaborative community.
Sure, there you go.
It's a community.
A community, not a commune. A community.
Where the word community comes from, I believe.
But you have this kind of sense of like, I mean, Haiku alone is kind of like sleeping in a pond, like a nice little pool, just like able to just relax, soft pillow of grass
Marshy earth.
beneath you.
Oh, a nice
marshy earth beneath.
marshy pillar.
Lovely. And the rest of you are, because you have the sounds of the waterfalls that aren't kind of like actual absurdly loud waterfalls. They kind of have this muted kind of atmosphere to themselves, which is just peaceful and restful and nice. At the same time, you know that you don't have anyone around you, so no one's going to interrupt your sleep. It's just you guys chilling, and it's the most peaceful rest that you've had in a long time. You slumber, and when you do so, you think of the visions that you were shown by Collectus, and you ponder upon yourselves the nature of those visions. You think about whether or not they were real, whether or not they were images conjured from a future far away from now, or if they were kind of illusions, things that are kind of cooked together from maybe some fragments that Collectus had read from your mind, and it's difficult to determine. But you wake, you each feel much more rested, and Nerdy, you feel you had a dream where you had like a large family meal. Like, you don't have any immediate recognition of what happened in your dream, but you wake up feeling like you had visited home, and you had like a big meal and just like a nice chat around the dinner table, and you had that kind of refreshing sense of all of your worries being lifted from you whilst you're in a safe place. And you don't really have any like vivid images of what it was that you dreamt of, but that's the feelings that you get.
That's the impression when I'm
Yeah.
waking up. Okay.
Randall feels somewhat different.
Yay. Wait.
Randall, you wake up gasping for air,
Am I in a
but
pond?
also not gasping for air.
Okay.
You feel deeply, deeply uncomfortable. Your throat is closing up.
You're allergic to waterfalls and marsh.
Help.
Are you okay?
No.
I'll come over and start doing like medicine checky stuff.
Go on, give me a medicine check.
21.
Oh,
Is it just the gills going away?
the gills are gone.
Okay.
It appears that Randall is suffocating.
I'm gonna do my. Oh wait, do I have a thing for that? I think I don't actually have a thing for that.
Wait, maybe he's just forgotten how to breathe normally without gills.
I'm gonna cast
Roll
Cure
to
Wounds
breathe.
and see what happens.
Okay, can you pop that in the chat for me?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Were you missing any hit points? No, because you've just woken up. You can feel the healing touch of Neurali's magic kind of lighten the sensation for a moment, but it very quickly vanishes, and you're back to this horrible.
I try to remove curse.
Okie dokie. Drop that in the old chat for me if you could.
Instead of doing it like
Fantastic.
long and ritualistically, this is like the action. Like.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Okay. 1 second. Gotta open the right book.
Okay.
I think I'd be better prepared, but I'm not. Haha.
My character sheet's all moved around, so it's not 3 columns anymore. It's now 2 columns, and I don't like it.
Oh, that's weird. Mine's not like that. That's
Actually,
weird.
it looks normal to me.
Wait, what? I got public. I got public and 2 GM buttons as well. It's like updated or something.
Oh.
What?
There's some cheating going on by the sounds of it.
Maybe have you tried refreshing or just like?
Oh yeah, no, I can see that as well. Public 2GM.
Yeah. So I assume that's like you can have
For
2
when you,
different.
you can toggle your roles. But also, I still see all of the I see the 3 columns you're talking
You got
about.
3 columns.
Yeah.
I have 3
Which
columns.
which one are you missing?
So like I've got the stats one,
Yeah.
and then the one with your AC in it,
Uh-huh.
and they're all there. The other ones, so like your traits and resources and everything, they are below those 2.
Oh.
It's like it's not
Oh,
flowing
squishy.
properly. So it isn't.
Can you pull it out, like drag it?
No,
to-
no, I tried that.
What the fuck? That's
That
I
weird.
is
don't know.
weird.
It's like the form isn't flowing properly.
Okay.
Okay.
It
Anyway.
does not have any effect.
He's still choking.
Yeah, he's in a shit way.
So this
There
the
is not
second...
basic rules for suffocating. A creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus its constitution modifier. When a creature runs out of breath or is choking, it can survive for a number of rounds equals to its constitution modifier. What's your constitution modifier?
My constitution modifier is 1.
Minimum of 1. Okay, this is not good.
Cast heal. Oh,
Okay,
let me do
can
the
you
spell
read-
card output.
yeah.
1 second. The output spell card. Yeah.
As Nearly does that, I think Haiku's gonna move over to begin the smacking him on the back.
The spell also ends blindness, deafness, and any diseases affecting the target. The spell has no
Okay.
effect on constructs or undead.
That's what we were looking for.
Yeah.
You drop a big old stinking heal, and that is not a cheap resource to
Nope.
expend.
That's why she tried the curse lift.
Do you want to describe to me how heal appears?
Okay, I think in this case, there was like the growing concern as it went from like, oh, it's probably just like some sort of reaction to the gills going away, and then being like, nope, those are gone. Cure wounds is a part of the curse, and then it's just like panic, and there's like a cool breeze, like the night, like a cool night breeze that just kind of like shock forces out from her and like blows everyone's like hair back and the grass back and stuff like that. And there's just like almost like a small pillar of what looks like moonlight that just like kind of like descends down from like a few feet above the ground in like that 5-foot space.
I really love the idea of this essentially being clear.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Panic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, Randall, you feel yourself being able to breathe. It's alleviated immediately. Whilst you were suffocating, you can still kind of feel it now. You felt as if your skin had become clammy, and you look at your hands and you can see that your flesh was for a moment translucent, and it starts to clear up now. It reminds you a little bit of Conlectus's flesh. You think that perhaps he marked you.
Oh.
Death. Ooh. Oh, I did not enjoy that.
I checked my neck. Are my gills still there? Are they gone?
No, your gills are all gone.
This didn't have anything to do with that. I don't know what this was, but it was some kind of disease, I think.
Well, I hope it doesn't come back, because that was not good.
Yeah, I can only do that once every day. So
Oh.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't come back today, at least.
Well, I'm not going to be thinking about that at all. I'm sorry.
Oh dear me.
Do I get a sense of like?
Sorry, go ahead.
Do I get a sense of any like magic involved?
I mean, you can roll me a medicine check or an arcana check if you like. Okay. You are confident that it is. I mean, it's hard to say that it's magical because you're in the Feywild and basically everything here is magical.
Okay.
But you feel somewhat confident that it's not going to recur.
Oh. Okay, I don't think it's going to happen again. At least as far as I can tell.
I hope not.
You never know.
Thanks.
So reassuring. Wow.
With the medicine check that I did, that I noticed the similarity in the flesh to
Yes.
Conlectus and stuff.
Mhm.
Well, hopefully we just don't ever have to actually see them again, and then you'll be fine and everything will be great.
With the number of times that you got whipped by Conlectus, you feel very grateful that it was not also you that suffered a similar fate, because that could have been rough. That could have been very rough.
Take lesser restoration, kids.
Maybe it wasn't getting hit by Conlectus that caused it. Maybe it was, I don't know, banging on some kind of drum to summon him.
No.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I never know.
Do I remember feeling Katie can't remember actually. I seem to remember maybe Constitution saves. Do I
There
remember
were a
feeling
bunch.
like
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
The DC was quite low, but Randall failed at one point.
Yeah. No, I think it was there's something about the touch when he would hit us with those appendages.
Okay, well.
Oh,
so-
actually, No, it's okay. It's fine. It's
What
okay.
do you mean?
Considering
Oh,
the spell-
actually.
Considering the spell that you cast, it's fine. So one of the other effects of this particular disease is that you can't regain hit points unless you're completely submerged underwater. So you wouldn't have regained any hit points from your long rest, but it would have immediately been healed, not just by the cure wounds, but also the 70 hit points that you got back from the heal spell. So you're okay now.
That is more than my total hit points. So
Yeah, the heal itself would have done it. The cure hit points before, or cure wounds before, wouldn't have done anything because you were still under the effect of the disease.
Yeah.
But the heal is a twofer, so you're okay.
Hilariously, I have. Did you describe to us what Conlectus was in words?
Yeah, well, I mean, the description of its general shape, and you guys would have seen them as well. The Randall was aware of what an aboleth is. Was
Gotcha.
it Randall? I think it was Randall, right?
I think that sounds right.
With
I'm
the
sure
high
it's a
food.
history
It was
thing.
one of you guys had done an appropriate check. I think it was Randall because of a history check, and identified that an aboleth and what an aboleth was, and what the implications of it being an aboleth was.
Hilariously, I have on exactly one other occasion as a player encountered an aboleth, and I was the one who got that. And so I was like, I'm not going to metagame, but I'm aware of what I think might happen.
Sorry, you're
We failed
also
these
the
checks.
only person that could have saved that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I already had that spell, so anyway. Well, I'm glad that there weren't two of us that he got to like that.
I'm glad you were here because I didn't do anything.
Nope.
Yeah. So what did you?
And we're grateful for it.
Thank you. Should we go maybe meet Rio Crenea now? Or
But
do you
before we
need
go, I
to-
want to hand everyone's stuff back
Oh yeah.
because I've got all of the stuff.
Yeah. Okay. That's right, I forgot. Oh, and I should change my gown back out of the like swimwear thing that I had been. The like old style bathing suit with like the frilly long
Yeah.
leg things on him and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys sorted? Where are you heading out to?
Probably back just to the court because I don't think he told us anywhere specific.
I think so.
All right then. So you walk back into the Maelstrom, as the settlement that surrounds the Maelstrom. This kind of aquatic, fey settlement that is based entirely around the kind of the water and the pools that are created by this tempest that appears to be, through your research, the hearsay, and from what you've experienced, some kind of portal to the plane of water, elemental water. You arrive back into the town centre. Where do you go straight to the temple or the hall?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Main hall, Cornea's hall. Okay.
Cool.
You go straight there, and you are greeted by a line. It's not unfamiliar because the last time you were here, you also had a similar environment in which you had to kind of patiently wait to be seen as kind of people who'd been looking for audiences with the Archfey. The doors are closed in this case, however. The front doors are closed, and the queue is kind of circling around the side of the building. Not too long, but maybe like 20, 30 people here, petitioners. But you do notice that one of them is Chiasmus.
Oh,
Hi.
okay, I think that's your cousin.
Oh yeah, Chiasmus. Hi.
Hi.
Where with Chiasmus? Where with her? Hi, Chiasmus.
Yep, they're with me. Bear with me. She's in her wheelchair at the moment, and she's waiting patiently. She kind of scoots back and makes some space for you. Hey, how's it going? Are you done? You did the thing already?
I reach
Ready?
into the
Oh,
bag of
Jesus.
holding and pull out the staff.
Oh, let's go! That's amazing. God, you guys are good.
Yeah.
I mean, we were worried for a bit there, but I'm here. I was kind of hoping that you'd show up today. Honestly, I've been here the last couple of days just to be safe, because I've been hoping that you'd have succeeded for a couple of different reasons. You see, I did a bit of detective work. You remember I was looking to see if I could find the name of the person that did this to me. She kind of
Yeah.
her legs. You remember that her legs had been severely damaged thanks to a curse that was put upon her by some kind of malevolent archfey. And she said, well, turns out I found the name.
Who is it? Spill the beans.
Oh, it's as obnoxious as you'd think for some kind of archfey that's going to fuck with somebody like that. Countess Palatine Ludmira Ibrium the 16th.
I just scream someone who put that type of curse on you.
Right?
Screams it.
Absolutely. So I found the name. I had to do some detective work around here, around the Maelstrom. I was
Sleuthing.
some sleuthing, and I found the name, and so I spoke to Crenea, and I said, "Is there any chance that I could use your support, your assistance, on finding where this countess would be? Because of all the people, an archfey, she's going to have a good idea, right?"
You think so?
She said to me that she would help me if you guys completed your quest. But you've completed your quest, right? And I knew that you would complete your quest. I just thought, I'm only here to be safe, kind of holding a space in the line. I was going to just kind of like, if I got to the front, like let people in front of me and just wait for you to... But you're here,
Yeah.
and you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fucking go! Alright, well, so, I mean, eventually, I guess this queue will kind of go down a bit, and we'll chat to Crenea. She seemed a bit out of it last time I spoke to her. She was kind of a bit, not really there.
Like sleepy almost, right?
Yeah, I mean, she seemed nice enough to me, but she seemed to kind of ignore a couple of people in front of me. I guess I'm just,
Are there
I'm
like
related,
guards
I'm related
at the
to
front?
Haiku, so...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Are there like guards at the front of the line? Asking
No.
you as the DM, not.
No.
Okay.
The doors are just closed.
Okay. I was gonna do the like. Can we just like go? Cause.
Oh, I mean, I guess the doors will. I've only spoken to Crenea once because I had to petition to see. No one seems to. I've been here for a little while, a couple hours maybe, but I mean,
How
nothing
does
else to
it-
do right now.
You've been here for a couple of hours and the door still haven't opened.
Yeah.
When do they
I
usually
don't think
open?
that's unusual. I have not
Oh.
been here that many times. So.
Can we listen to chatter around us? Is anyone else chatting about like this is weird? Like the door should be open.
Is anyone
Yeah.
really mad that we obviously cut in line?
Give me an insight check.
I'll inside check.
I'll help.
There is one sea elf that you can see has kind of got like a bit of a kind of an annoyed face, and they're kind of just like they're specifically kind of looking at the back of Randall, just being like, "This fucking guy, fucking guy Wilson, man. What the fuck is that about? What the fuck is that? Oh my god."
Humans.
Hey, I nearly died this morning.
Yeah, like literally no one else gives a shit. Like not a single
Okay.
other person in that line is even remotely bothered. But
Good.
this
I
one-
won't say
Show them the
anything.
staff. We've got to show that we're
Yeah. I almost want to be like, do you think it would be rude to just go and like knock and be like, hey, we're coming back. We finished. We probably want this. Do you think? Talking to Chiasmus.
As you're discussing this, you see Stuart the steward walk down the length of the line, and you can see he's got some parchments with him. He's busily kind of strawing away.
Flag him down.
He's walks past. Oh my goodness, you did it!
Yes.
And he kind of he inspects, like he's kind of slyly, but not slyly enough that you guys don't notice. He looks at your neck. He's just kind of looking around a little bit. And wow! Oh my god! Whoa! You did it!
Mm-hmm.
You did it! Don't make a fuss. No one make a fuss. You're gonna come with me. You with her? And he points to
Chiasmus is with us. She's with us.
Okay.
We're related. I don't know if you could tell.
No. I mean, the familial link there is. Yeah, it's apparent. Fantastic. Well,
not every turtle is related.
It's the stuff all over them. That's the thing. It's mostly the stuff.
Yeah. Come on, Randall.
Very well then. You come with me, and he leads you somewhat away from the front doors. Front doors at this point have just opened, and he moves over to the front doors, immediately grabs the handles and slams it shut. I'm sorry, there will be no appearance today of the Lady Crinea. Important business has happened. You must all disperse immediately. I apologize for any inconvenience. And that one sea elf is like, for fuck's sake, fucking human assholes. Wanders in here, skips, and they fucking disperse. Who the fuck did this thing? But everyone else just kind of like, it's just, it is what it is. Like, it's one of those places
oblivious.
Where time goes.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
What's that jump scare sound alert that Jenny has a ridiculous value of bits because it scares everyone?
Thank you, Canuck. 1,000 biddies.
Just everyone going, oh my god.
I was safe from the scare because apparently mine is slightly delayed.
Oh really?
I don't know why.
Oh.
So we're all like, oh my god. You're like, what the? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I see what's going on.
So everyone else kind of just disperses. Like the sense that you've got of the Maelstrom being here is that you being in a world that capitalism has no grip over has meant a lot. Like time doesn't really make any difference to anybody. Like that's part of the Feywild anyway. Just like the nature of the Feywild as it is that time here, as you know, moves very differently from other places, and that kind of just already kind of seeps into everyday life. It's very difficult to care about time when time to you means something completely different to the person, the town over, etc. And the town over isn't always there.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't have to take their last day off of work to go to the courthouse to petition for something.
yeah, they're all kind of chilled. So no one seems to be that fussed about it, but they move on with their day. At least that seems to be the feeling that you get from reading the room, as it were. The majority of the people in this queue appear to be what we refer to as like kind of the common folk of the Maelstrom. You suspect that anyone who is of kind of higher standing probably aren't standing at the front of the doors waiting for them to open to petition the Archfey. You suspect that they get their own kind of audience. Regardless, you are shuffled away by Stuart the Steward, and you are brought around the side of the building and through a couple of kind of back alleys, actually. Can we get an insight check from anybody?
Anybody?
Yeah, we can have. I mean, I'll take
we
it
help
from the
each
whole
other?
group if you want to do.
I'm anybody.
Okay,
There you
22
go.
is ample. You get the sense that you are being brought around the houses in the sense that the steward appears to be trying to hide you, trying to distract anyone that might be trying to follow or anything, just kind of keep you out of sight. But you follow.
He's ashamed of us.
You follow him for long enough to eventually find yourself coming out on the other side of the Maelstrom, whereas previously to the north of the Maelstrom, or thereabouts, depending on the orientation of the Feywild, was where the temple was. You are kind of more at an easterly direction in this case. You find yourself following this same cliff face that surrounds the maelstrom, where all the waterfalls are pouring down into pools below. And you find yourself in a completely different but very similar looking cave entrance. And this particular cave entrance is completely kind of hidden by a waterfall. You wouldn't have been able to tell really that it was different from any of the other various streams of water from this imposing cliff face if Stuart hadn't kind of just walked right through it. And on the other side, you find yourself in a room that has a pathway of stone that is somewhat submerged under a pool of water. Lily pads scattered around in front of you, some blossoming and others not, with large stone pillars either side. At the other end of the room is a incredibly majestic and regal bathing pool. It is looks like a lotus flower blossoming, and you can see there is a big golden kind of frog that is sitting on a leaf that is just kind of like pouring this kind of milky coloured liquid into a bath. I'm
Ooh, a
move
milk
you
bath.
over to a map so you can have a look at it.
I don't want to see the milk bath.
There you go.
God, Champak would make such good maps, don't they?
Serenade.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That is an amazing map.
That's
I've
a lot
been
better
using
to
a
the
bunch of
frog
maps
that I just
recently.
drew throwing up, so...
Oh my god.
I've been using a lot of maps recently from the Chepaku guys, and every single map that I've used so far, whilst I've had it prepared for months, I have seen someone else use the exact same map as me. And I saw you use this recently, Katie. Saw the Coral Throne one used by Evan and Leonore. And
I also used that one.
really?
Yeah.
A number of plans that I've had in fruition for months on months, in some cases years, other people have also used, and that has baffled me. But it's just one of those things, you know, this hive mind of DMs.
We've all read the same DM scripture.
Yeah, exactly.
We just the idea for a podcast, and they happened to need to sail to some islands, and met some unfriendly mermaids, and you know they happened to be near the water as well. So
well, this is the map that you are presented with here.
hi, Charlie.
Now, hi, Rift Players.
Hello.
It does have a very Great Fairy from Breath of the Wild-esque kind of feel to it. Tried it with a candle in it, and the part in the dark enough that we can you see my little boy in the background over there?
Oh yeah.
You can
Just
only
about.
just see his face. It's
Yeah.
so tiny.
I think it's only 'cause I
purposefully made
know
it very small.
What it is.
I purposefully made it very small, but I did a very bad job this year of making it.
It's
easy to read.
cute.
It's so serious. Like, I can...
His
Get
like
it,
face is a little
get
bit
it,
higher
get
up,
it.
so it
Mm-hmm.
needs to be tilted down a bit.
Don't worry, mine was very low effort this year. I didn't even take a picture of it.
What?
I
I
need to
think
with the little eyebrows.
It looks like it's fluttering its eyes with the camera.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't come out well on camera.
You should
He
turn it
does
so it looks like it's
closer.
watching you.
He's a silly boy.
yeah.
So yes, so this is the scene that you are presented with. As you enter the room, you see that there is, whilst you remember Crenea, you remember her hopefully from the first time that you saw her. She looks a little bit like this. Okay, you can see her in her bath top there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whom you see in front of you now does not look like that, unfortunately.
Oh.
And scrambled to try and find a appropriate token, but I couldn't because I was running late. Instead, what you see is she looks very much like a sea elf. She has kind of a blue skin and long regal hair that you recognize very closely to the statues that you saw in the temple beneath the maelstrom. She has a sickly blue-green color to her skin, and it is translucent. She appears before you in a vastly diminished state, bathing in these waters that you see appear to be some kind of concentrated magical fluid that she appears to be reliant on. And Stuart the steward says to you, now, I will introduce you, once again, to the Archfey Crinea. And he whispers beneath his breath, she is in a vulnerable state, and it would do you well not to bring attention to her state. She will be greatly gladdened by your success in your quest and retrieving the rod of the chosen Myrmidea. You will be greatly rewarded. But remember that she is still an archfey, and that in itself should be enough of a warning.
Noted.
Now, he steps forward into the room, and as his feet step onto the stones and the sound on the kind of like the surface travels throughout the cave and starts to splash through the waters that cover it, through the lily pads. You can see that there is a stir from the waters ahead, from the bath, as Crinea's eyes slowly open. And she pulls herself up and along the side of the bath and rests. She rests on her folded arms at the side of the bathtub as if well practiced. She sits there resting as if to say, I have brought you here as a show of power. Like, I can be this vulnerable in front of you and it means nothing to me kind of thing. Not as in a, I'm desperate for your help, please help me. She does look sickly, however.
Does the translucenty stuff in her skin look like what happened to Randall?
Roll me a medicine check. You do sense that there is some similarity there, yes. But you are not quite close enough and have not been given the opportunity to inspect her in the same way that you did Randall.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to make it obvious that I'm inspecting her.
Yeah,
So.
precisely.
I guess
That's a
I
good
still
way to
have the
get-
staff, so go ahead,
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Regardless, she kind of beckons you over. She doesn't say a word yet as you step towards, and Stuart the steward stands with you and says, my lady, these are the adventurers that have successfully completed the quest that you bestowed upon them to retrieve the rod of the chosen Myrmidea. This is Nurali, Haiku, Randall, Oro, and Nugget. They have arrived with the rod in their possession, and if you recall, you had an audience with them in your hall where you promised that you would help them and provide a tribute for the Ursine King. She you can see that she's struggling to keep her eyes open. She's greatly weakened, and she almost nods off mid-sentence. She kind of moves her head to and fro as if she's trying really hard to concentrate on what it is that he's saying. Before you get an image that is of the axolotl form of Crenea that you saw in the hall previously. You saw those moments where her eyes glazed over. You saw those moments where she seemed to not be paying attention. And now you get this image of you kind of have these visions almost, not being projected into your mind, but where you can kind of see the association where Crenea, you suspect, has been using some kind of illusory magic to project an image elsewhere to keep up appearances. Now, as you approach the bath, she says, "Adventurers, is it true?
Oh,
What
hold
did you
out.
find?"
It's okay.
She just asked, "What did you find?"
We found the staff. There was a large creature in the temple. And it seemed like there were several others that shouldn't have been there that were, and that they were worshipping some creature behind a door that could talk to minds or something. It's gone now, but it sounded like it could come back. But I don't know that it will come back there. It seemed more angry with us.
That creature, I remember, Conlectus.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You have done a great thing slaying Conlectus. Not just for me, but also for Umberlee herself. For those of you who are unfamiliar, this would immediately be familiar to each of your characters. For those of you who players don't recognize the name Umberlee
Mermaid
immediately,
thing.
Umberlee is a goddess.
The lighthouse thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Umberlee is a goddess of the sea. She is a controversial figure, but she is the goddess, our goddess of the sea, within Faerun. Can I have some religion checks from? I'll take 2 religion checks from people who want to do religion checks.
I'm pretty good at religion.
I've 100%.
Oh, I'm spending a sorcery point. No, I'm spending a sorcery point. Absolutely not. We're not doing that.
Flip it.
There we go. That's
There we
good.
go. I'm pretty good at
I was like, no, we're not doing this. Nope.
Oh dear. Do we want to have a second one from anyone else? Anyone else want to go for it? I'm allowing my usual 2 rolls.
I don't think I should do it. No.
Haiku doesn't really have any ties to religion,
Right.
so...
Alright, there you go. I
Okay,
failed
sure,
for both
alright.
of us.
Okay,
All
okay.
3 of us. There you go.
And you don't have a proficiency in religion, do you, Casey?
I do,
Oh,
actually.
you do?
I do.
Okay, alright, okay.
I figured that was character fitting. It hasn't come up a lot, but
No, of course, okay.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, of course, I prefer to give an additional advantage to those who have a proficiency.
Mhm.
So you immediately recognise that who Umberlee is. You know her association with the sea, and that does make sense for the setting that you are in to a certain extent. However, in the Feywild, their connection to the gods of, Toril, is strenuous to say the best. For the most part, Archfey are extremely powerful creatures who generally are self-sufficient. They would more likely be patrons of some other kind of magic than they would be to draw their magic from the gods. So immediately to you see here an odd contrast where you get the sense that perhaps Crenea and Umberlee have some kind of connection that doesn't immediately make itself apparent to you.
Okay. It's good for Umberlee Because he was infiltrating the waters?
Yes. The creature that you slew was an aboleth. An old creature with a vendetta against the gods themselves. They are not usually hostile to the Fae, but this one had a vendetta that it decided to settle here. In so doing, it greatly weakened myself. You may see me now not as the same figure you saw at our previous audience. This is how I've been reduced without my connection to the plane of water. I would thank you to return to me the rod of the chosen Myrmidea. And she extends her hand.
Yeah, hand it over.
And she takes it from you. And you can see almost immediately that her posture changes a little bit. Just a little bit more confident and stronger. She doesn't immediately seem to just revert to being full of energy and health. But it's more that her kind of confidence has returned to the, oh, actually, you have done it. You have brought me the rod. This isn't just you talking shit. This is the real deal, and that has its own implications. She said, you slew Conlectus, and you've retrieved the rod for me.
Yeah.
I hope that you took from the temple what you needed.
We almost didn't, but we ended up taking some things, yes.
Such things mean little to me. I'm glad that you did. I asked now, how can I help you? I believe I have told your cousin that I would help her. But what reward do you wish?
Well, we are going out and petitioning for tithes on behalf of the Ursine court, but we're doing that because we were sent here against our will, and in doing so, 2 of us were cursed. So, either a tithe for the Ursine court, or if you know how we can get rid of a curse that's turning them into trees, then that would be good.
I sort
We're
of
not-
lean over, give a better look of the bark.
The she kind of, she doesn't look annoyed, but you can tell immediately that she gets it. Can you give me an insight check, actually, Noni?
Sure. 18.
Okay, with an 18, you can tell that she gets a sense, or she belies not a frustration, but she shows that she recognizes that you don't understand politics. Like she sees immediately. She's like, okay, no, she doesn't know what she's asking me to do here. In a way where, like, so someone who is playing the game at such a high level meets somebody who is fresh to the game and thinks this is a bit boring. Like, I don't want to have to explain the rules to a newbie. And she says to you, it would not behoove me to undermine the Ursine court as I present a tithe. And she removes from a small kind of like chest that she has beside her, beside the bath, like a kind of a golden laid chest that she opens, and produces from in it a piece of kind of like pearlescent coral that she hands to you. This is my tribute to the Ursine court. Now, this is not your reward. This is what we agreed upon. I'm happy to offer you another boon, as you have done a great deed for me.
Don't suppose you do know how to fix this, by any chance?
I have my suspicions, but I don't know outright. Again, without... If you are already in some kind of agreement with the Ursine Court, I cannot step in.
That makes sense. It is something that I haven't been able to stop the spread of, but has slowed. So, if you have any knowledge of how to slow curse further, in case this takes longer, we wouldn't stop the arrangement that we have with the Ursine Course.
You're
But that would,
welcome to the waters,
if we
and to
take
bring
it,
some waters with you. if you
okay,
need.
that will work then.
Totally hadn't bottled some up already.
Yes, we had put some in bottles, but we weren't sure if that would work.
I will
and
ask you
also,
one final time. Is there any reward that I can give you? You may have a few moments to think about it, but I have other matters to attend to.
of course. Like literally, it was literally when she started to ask again, she was gonna be like, somebody, somebody come up with something.
Well, what do we ask for?
I don't know. Why don't I...
We did say we'd ask about Princess. You know, the
That's
talking.
not really a reward. That's more like a burden. But yeah.
We found a meat jar in a field. It was just a mason jar full of meat in the forest. What the fuck?
The worst geocache ever.
Worst geocache ever. I love the idea that you just asked politely for a meat jar.
A meat jar.
I'll take a reward. No,
Can I have a
the
can of
perfect
Spam?
thing.
Okay, what is the next? What is the last court we have to go to? We've done Maelstrom. And we've done. Let me scroll
The
down.
clout.
Court of the Clout.
Maybe
And
she
what
could
do we know
teleport us
about
over.
them?
Pretty good. Or something to keep us safe in the wilds while we travel.
Yeah. Because
Like a tent.
we do seem to have issues traveling between these places.
Something to protect us from the mind control of everything that's here.
That's a good idea. Yeah, things seem to talk to you a lot, Randall. Trees and
I'm just so
ambulance
friendly.
and- We don't know anything further about the Court of Clout.
Oh wait, it's alright. This is completely irrelevant. You guys continue as you were. Jenny,
What?
what was it called? The mineral we saw today.
Oh, Blue John?
Blue
John-
John.
Blue
John.
John?
We saw Blue John.
Blue John?
as a mineral, and we were going to tell Adam about it. Some
John.
Blue John,
Mhm.
which apparently you can Google. It's like a really rare mineral that only you can only see it in is it Derbyshire or something?
Yeah, Derbyshire, yeah.
There's like a couple of caves where it's mined in Derbyshire, and there are like some similar rocks in the world, but like
Similar rocks.
none of them are
Known
like
as
precisely
Derbyshire
the same.
Spar.
We were gonna ask Adam if he knew anything about it.
Oh, I googled it, so I won't say anything else. Ooh, that's
I mean, I googled it earlier as well, but he's more likely to know better than some wikiing.
yeah, that's true.
But anyway, as you were.
I
Shall we
wish
just
it was a
ask-
can of Spam we found. I really do.
After the scene, we'll have a bio break. By the way, if any of you sitting there busting.
Should we
Okay.
just ask her for help to get to the clout or whatever
Mhm.
it's called? I think that feels like
Ooh.
I think we should have something vague.
Something vague of a fae. Yeah, that's a really great. Idea. It
It's
took
better than asking
everything
something
in me.
specific and being punished for being too greedy or...
Yeah. Ooh, what is Stuart doing while we've turned around and are doing our little huddle?
Stuart is talking to Crenea. Not Crenea.
heck. Okay.
Chiasmus.
Chiasmus, okay.
You guys are kind of huddling up, and Stuart is talking kind of just quietly to Chiasmus. Because obviously she had something that she was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just kind of chatting. It appears that they're waiting patiently for you guys to finish your segment before they move on, because she was being quite impatient.
Okay.
Might be a
Chiasmus,
while.
Chiasmus was being impatient.
Should I present it as an either or? Like, if it's possible, could we be sent to the Court of Cloud? Or, if that's not possible, then anything that would help us against mind shielding, mind control, I mean? Okay.
Anything to help us get to the cloud?
I feel like the most diplomatic way of asking.
Okay. I'll turn around and look ready.
Okay. Crenea, you see almost again. She's like almost dozing off, but it doesn't look like she's sleepy. It looks like she's feeling weak.
Yeah.
Although she's looking better than she did when you first entered the room, and she definitely does seem to be regaining some strength. It's not been like some immediate cure-all.
Yeah.
But she catches your eye and waits patiently.
So, not wanting to ask too much or knowing what may or may not be possible, we thought our last stop is the Court of the Cloud. So if there's a way to get there quickly, that would be the most that would be a thing that would be very immediately helpful to us. But I understand that might be difficult, and so if there's something you could provide that would aid us to shield our minds from all the creatures here that seem to want to speak into our minds, that would be very much appreciated as well.
She looks over to Stuart and says, "I will entrust your journey to Stuart. He will see that you get to the cloud.
Thank you very much.
Expeditiously. Now, Chiasmus." She turns to Chiasmus, who kind of looks up at Crenea, kind of like in awe, just like in a, oh my god, this is so cool, it's Crenea, holy shit, but also like in a sense of like reverence, where, you know, like imagine if a kid sees Santa Claus and Santa Claus is like, shh, like, don't tell anyone you saw me. She's got kind of got that wonder about her face. Like, she feels like, she looks like she's got this sense of like, I've been entrusted with something, a great secret that no one else can know. And that is the state of Crenea right now. So she's kind of got this look of like reverence and oh yeah, okay. Which is like, she's like kind of like bubbling a little bit with energy. You can see her kind of like bouncing a little bit, ready. And Crenea says to her, "You are searching for Countess Palatine Ludmira Ibrium the 16th. I can tell you that she is in Then." And Chiasmus is just like notepad out. Like, okay, right, Then, okay, fantastic, right, fantastic. She says this word Then, and you can see that Stuart kind of like goes, oh shit, okay, fuck. Just like kind of like to himself. And but Chiasmus is immediately elated. She's like, Brill, fantastic, off I go. And she's like, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to one day returning to the Maelstrom as an incredible adventurer, and I'll pick up any adventures you've got for me, Miss, Lady, my lady, your Majesty, your greatness, your wonderfulness, your beauty. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. And she kind of She kind of just like recedes a little bit.
I'll pat Chiasmus'
You can see that Crenea kind of like smiles a little bit about it.
I give Casmus a big thumbs up.
She sits in a chair and she's ready to go. You can see now that Crenea is getting kind of impatient with your company. So, unless there's anything else, the steward is likely to see you out.
I think just a thank you for your audience and your kindness, and kind of like nod to leave.
Okay. Right. Wonderful. So, we leave the hide of Crenea. Everything's named after her.
I mean, if I were an archfey like that, I'd probably name everything after myself too.
I mean, fuck it, why not, you know? You leave with Chiasmus and Stuart the steward, and step outside.
Once we're like outside of the place, I want to ask Stuart something.
Sure. You are now outside.
Is she going to get better now that Conlectus is gone?
That is the hope. When he appeared and the waters were tainted, and the connection to the water plane was changed, she was changed also. It is my sincere belief that she will return to her former strength thanks to you, and she owes you a great deal. Which is why she was already planning to assist you in your journey to the clout.
Oh. We just didn't really know that.
She has asked me to present you with this also. And so she holds out a small... It's the same kind of gold box that you saw her remove the coral from. And she kind of had that sent out with stew.
I'm glad she could tell that we were like, we didn't realize that this was as big of a deal as it was, and we did not have time to prepare for it.
Even if the chest is empty, this is a pretty neat prize.
Right? On the shelf.
Think of all the stuff you could fit in this box.
I know.
Oh my god.
It's
like an item which stores items.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Wow.
No one show Haiku a backpack.
If for some reason that progress is slowed or impeded, if there's anyone here with an affinity for magic, I could maybe teach them something that might help.
I suspect that she would not take such help. Archfey are quite self-sufficient.
Okay.
But I know that she would appreciate the offer, though her response may not appear to be appreciative, if you get my meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend that perhaps you return some other time, maybe some other lifetime, and you will see a much more grateful Crenea. Now, Chiasmus, you have been directed to then. And Chiasmus is like, yep, I'm ready. I'm gonna find a team. I'm gonna find an adventuring party. We're gonna set out. I'm gonna fuck up an archfey. And he looks shocked for a second. And he's like, well, she is no longer an archfey. Okay, good, because I was not feeling confident about that. That fight was probably not going to go great. It's just, she was She's in Then. Then is not a place where the Archfey go. Then is a place where the displaced Fey go. If she is in Then, she is not an Archfey. And she goes, let's go. Fucking if she's that easier, it's easier. It's easier for me.
I am glad to hear that you were not as confident as you projected, because I was becoming increasingly concerned.
I think it's gonna be fine. I have a cause, you know, and that is vengeance, and it's gonna be sweet.
Some people are fueled by spite.
I mean, I'm not a very spiteful person, but this motherfucker, don't get it.
Anger is a protective emotion. It's good to be angry when it's because somebody hurt you. That means you're protecting yourself.
I'm excited to start on my own journey.
It's a pretty common trait in our family. You go into anything with massive overconfidence. You'll get off.
What's then?
Stuart says to you, that is a place.
Why don't the Archfey go there?
Because then is a place for the displaced of the Feywild. It is not a place that is looked upon with any joy or merriment or
Is it like exile?
whimsy. It is an exile that is put upon by oneself.
Self-exile.
Oh. What?
How are they displaced if they're in a place?
Welcome to the Feywild.
This is the thing that broke Haiku.
Yeah, this is a line. Why would one exile themselves?
It is a mystery to us all. I have not been to Then, and all I know is that it's like all places in the Feywild, it is mystical and hard to describe. But Krenay, you will have a journey, is what you will have. I'm sure you will find success in your adventures.
Casmus, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What will you do if you go and there and you find that they've put themselves there because they regret what they did?
Oh, damn, that's a good question. Shit. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to see. I think people who are that powerful that they can cast a curse with a few words need some recompense for the people that they've harmed. But I don't know if I have it in me to kill someone who's exiled themselves.
Is truly repentant.
And is truly repentant.
I just wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to think about it before you got there.
I will think about it a lot.
Not that some people don't just deserve to have the people they've hurt have their opportunity.
Well, then
to
let's
return
hope
that,
let's just hope that they don't regret it too much. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna set up my team. I'm gonna go find some willing adventurers, and I'm gonna go be an adventurer again. And I'm very excited. And she kind of she moves over to Haiku, and kind of just gives him a deep hug. And says to you, if I never see another one of our family again, but I see you again, I'll be very happy. I'm
Me
very
too,
grateful
Cadmus.
for what you've given to me.
I look forward to our next meeting.
I do too.
I mean, you never know. We might be recalled back to home.
All right, okay. You're cocky over here. Got some plans, have you?
I'm solid.
Yeah,
Feel me.
that too. Wait, no, my cousin's
What?
going
Who did that? The cousin.
Not that kind of fun.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Anonymous as well. Who is it?
Stream isn't continuing until you admit to it.
I have a feeling I know who it is, but I won't call him out.
Before she
Hiya.
goes, I want to give her so that wand of minor illusion that I got at the circus. It had 3 charges, and I've used one, so it still has 2 charges. And since she hasn't collected anything in a while, I want to give it to her before she leaves, in case it's helpful.
Okay. All right.
It's cute.
She receives it gratefully. She says, "Wow, my first magical item. Dangerous to go alone, am I right?"
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you want some company, you can sweet talk the Archfey. There's some kind of sentient ship bow in the temple.
I'm not sure how much sea there is between here and then, but
You never
who
know.
knows? It's the Feywild. There could be anything. Now, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I've got a lot on my plate right now. What are you guys up to?
I guess we'll see. I want to open the box.
Okay. Now, inside the box is... This is only funny for me. A ball. If people watched the game that I played, Leonor DM'd, I have canonically intertwined the character that I played for the Evans Usual Defilers group. With the character that I played in that, I have canonically entwined with the HBA group because they were a pirate who was the captain of the ship that Princess was on, and was deeply in love with Princess, and Princess was deeply in love with him, and he had this item. Inside the box is a kind of like a just larger than a tennis ball sphere that is made of, imagine like a rubber band ball, but it's hollow on the inside and it's made of iron, bands of iron.
Okay.
It is called the Iron Bands of Billeroo.
Ooh.
Do I get a magical feeling?
Immediately, everyone gets a magical feeling.
Do I get a magical feeling?
I feel like being this level of an adventurer, you just get a passive ability to determine when something is a magical item.
You
Okay,
see, it's a bit
tingle to it.
sparkly. Yeah.
The tingle and the sparkle, yeah.
You know
Can
when
I
you touch
determine
something.
the magic
Sorry,
of
go
it?
Yeah, there you go.
Could you identify it, perhaps with some kind of spell, like maybe the identify spell that nobody ever takes?
I've taken it on other characters. Didn't on
You
this
could
one.
roll an Arcana check. I'll give you a general gist of it. But you probably, you'd identify it for certain after a long rest or a short rest. You can take a short rest now if you like.
Magic moment.
Ooh, 23. Tell you what, I personally think that waiting to tell you what the magic items do is a bit boring, so I'm going to tell you right now.
Hell yeah.
We'll
You
just
rolled high
pretend not
enough.
to know until we've rested a bit.
You rolled high enough for me to tell you. So the Iron Bands of Billeroo. This rusty iron sphere measures 3 inches in diameter and weighs 1 pound. You can use an action to speak the command word and throw the sphere at a huge or smaller creature that you can see within 60 feet of you. As the sphere moves through the air, it opens into a tangle of metal bands. Make a ranged attack roll with an attack bonus equal to your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus. On a hit, the target is restrained until you take a bonus action to speak the command word and release it again. Doing so, or missing with the attack, causes the bands to contract and become a sphere once more. A creature, including the one that is restrained, can use an action to make a D20 strength check to break the iron bands. On success, the item is destroyed and the restrained creature is freed. If the check fails, any further attempts made by that creature automatically fail until 24 hours have elapsed.
Oh,
Once the bands are used, once they have used, they can't be used again until the next dawn.
Does it wobble
what's the
3
strength
times
once
once it's grabbed them?
It's a
I
Pokeball.
was,
Yeah, I was gonna
thinking
say
the
it's very
exact same.
Pokeball. Yeah.
It doesn't move down into Pokeball size after it's grabbed somebody. It holds
Oh,
them. It's
man.
a bit closer. I imagined it a little bit closer to the item that when like they meet Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange movie with the that like weird metal thing that they throw at the bad guy and he just gets caught in a metal hold, similar to that.
Oh yeah, the they throw at Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah. Hi, Leonor. Leonor, I was just describing how this item is the item that my other character had, and I explained the link between Princess and the HBA world.
I love it.
Hmm.
What's the strength check? What strength check do they
DC
have to
20.
pass? Oh, nice.
Great.
Jesus. Combine that with the immovable rod.
Oh my god.
But if they break it, it's broken.
Yeah.
Oh, like the item
So-
is broken.
Yeah. So we don't throw this at golems and probably not dragons either. Probably not dragons.
We throw it at kobolds and laugh.
Mhm. Well, that's cool. It was based on throwing, right? Was
The
the
dexterity ranged attack.
just like hold it out to Oro?
I want to learn the story of it.
Oh,
Wait,
that's fair.
it's a magical enough item.
That is a magical item that if you want to learn the story of it, then you need to do a long rest.
Hand it to Randall.
Well, you hold on to it until we go to bed.
Okay.
Yes, Canuck, it's called the command word.
Okay. I'll hold it.
Okay, so what other plans do you have other than whatever it is that Stuart the Steward has?
Okay, so just as a complete aside, we were going to take a bio break, but also
Oh yeah,
this music, I swear to God, this is like the fourth track, or maybe it's the same long one, and they've intentionally just grabbed little tiny snippets of the score
Yeah.
from Lord of the Rings.
Uh-huh.
Because there was a little part of the Shire theme,
There
and
are-
that one just now was Rohan.
There
They
are
did Rohan.
seven tracks in this particular playlist, all made by the same people.
Yeah.
It's definitely Ruler of the Loops. It's not Lord of the Rings.
FeslianStudios.com, where I acquired
Fizlian. I see what you did.
which I acquired for real monies, so that we
Ooh.
could use the license.
Nice.
I know there's some good tracks, but there's
No, it's
definitely
really good.
100% they've nabbed some stuff from Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
style, which
just
I know,
small
which is
enough that
purposeful.
it's sampling. Yeah.
And it's like here we are, we're playing high fantasy. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I keep hearing it, and I'm like, there's no way. Oh, okay, now it's changed.
Okay, right, we'll have a bio break then.
Ruler of the bands.
You guys have a think about what you want to do right after this scene. But for now, we will have a bio break. For those of you who are new to the stream, our bio breaks take as long as we need, which is usually just a couple minutes, then we return. We don't have a set time of like 15 minutes or whatever. They're usually pretty quick, and we'll return. But you should get up, have some drink, stretch, empty yourself, as Jack would say. And we'll be back soon. Say hello to the do-good penis.
Yeah. Okay. We're back, everyone. Be good. I believe in you. Hello, I'm back first. Wow. You guys want to see what I made? I'm showing you. I made a little ghost. Please focus on him. He has a little LED tea light in him, but he is a little ghost with a little face. He's very cute. That's what I wanted to show you. Because you couldn't really see him here. I wanted you to see him, but he's like a bit blurry, so. Oh, kind of thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, I appreciate it. Welcome back, Jack.
Hello.
Thank you
That's
for
a very nice
proceeding.
jumper hoodie you've got on there, Jenny.
Oh my god, thank you.
Oh
Are you
my
also
God.
wearing...
Wow.
Oh my god, what a cool jumper you're wearing too, Jack. That's crazy. I wonder where you
you
could get such a thing.
I don't know. Maybe you should follow that link in chat. There's a choice of colours, or get it on a t-shirt.
Yeah, t-shirt, yeah.
It's embroidered as well.
It's true,
Ooh.
it is.
Fancy.
Hello there.
Thank you
We're
for
talking
joining
about
us
this
on this ad
hoodies?
section. Yeah,
Mhm.
the ad section of the stream.
They are cute. Cute hoodies. They're comfy hoodies going into winter. T-shirts are good too.
T-shirts are good for under the jumpers, you know?
Double. Oh, I mean, that's what I
Extra
want to see. I want to see
layers.
someone wearing a t-shirt and a hoodie. with the
I almost put
Double
mine on
branded.
today. Yeah.
Just go all out. Get like an embroidered Goblin Energy trackies,
Oh,
underwear,
dude.
socks.
I would love to get tracky bottoms of it in.
Do you have it like down the leg or?
Across the
Mm.
butt. For goblin energy, absolutely across the
That
butt.
would make more sense.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I love Grace just being visibly evil in the chat.
What the
Swishes
plan to
He's
take
scrolling
over the
back
stream.
up.
actually vanish. I just run out of the door very visibly. Oh dear me. Okay.
Now you fools.
I'm gonna prepare for the rest of this session.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so I don't know if I've told you all this story before. I thought of it because of Grace saying downright dastardly. So many years ago, I was playing Red Dead Redemption. And have you ever played Red Dead Redemption?
I personally haven't. I've watched a medium amount of it. I'm not especially well versed in the story.
This has nothing to do with the story, so no worries there.
Okay.
So I'm riding around. One of the things that happens in the game, it does like random encounters, and I really like the way that it does that, because it just means that there's just like a whole, it's like random encounters in D&D. There's a whole slew of things that could happen, and sometimes you have a conversation with someone, and sometimes you get attacked, and sometimes they trick you. I didn't know that they could trick you. The first time it happened, I was riding out of some town going off to do a quest, and this like femme person comes running out like, help, they're killing whatever. And I'm like, oh no. And I stop to help, get off my horse, and she's like, get them, boys. And then they start shooting me, and I'm like, that bitch. What? How dare? So I kill all the dudes, and I'm like, you get a special one though. You're gonna die in a very special way. I don't know how yet. We're gonna do it. One of the things you could do in Red Dead Redemption is you could lasso people and then like put them on the back of your horse. so that not like you could drag them. I was not dragging them, but you would like tie that so that they're like laying over the horse and they like groan every time you like the horse jumps or something like that, and it's really funny. And I'm riding around and I'm like, how am I gonna kill this bitch? What am I gonna use? I got to do it creatively, right? Because I'm mad at her. This pixelated, it's like, you know. And I see a train track.
Oh my.
And I think in my head of the old cartoons where they've got somebody tied to a train track, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna see if I can tie her to the train track. Go over to the train track. Sure enough, you fucking could. You could tie them to the train track. And I was like, yes. Let's check on the map, and the train's way far away, so I have to plot like a course to intercept the train, right? So I untie her from the train tracks, we're back on the horse, ride all the way over there, and the whole time I'm just like, it's gonna be worth it, all this time that I'm taking because I'm so mad at her. I get there, I can see the train in the distance, get off, tie her to the tracks, and I back up a bit to watch to see what happens. Satisfyingly enough, as the train hits her, she explodes. Pieces flying, and I was like, that's what you get, bitch. And as I'm saying that, and this was on the PlayStation, a little achievement pops up, and it's just a red background with a black mustache and a black top hat that says dastardly. My favorite achievement. The best thing. Turns out the girl was me. I was there.
Okay, we are back. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons. You are gonna tell me what you want to do.
We wanted to get some more water, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we can.
Sure. I think I'm happy for you guys to have as much bottled water as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me.
Okay.
I mean,
you could just put it in the bag of holding in infinite water. That's how that works, isn't it?
Listen, the
just
bag of holding
scoop it
does
into the
have
bag.
a maximum capacity.
Yeah, so we probably would just be like, all right, Stuart, we need some jugs for water, and how you gonna get us to the cloud? Because I feel like we're not gonna wait, right? We're just gonna go.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
we just woke up.
Yeah.
I have had to expend some significant resources, but hopefully not another side quest, right? So we'll see.
This is just a normal
No,
day.
does Chiasmus want help?
I'm kidding. Yeah. That's
I
question
think
too.
Chiasmus has made it pretty clear that she's keen to go off on her own journey,
It's fair enough.
and that she's not here to join your party, but she is, she's going to become an adventurer again, which, as she explained to you previously, she was an adventurer in a past, time, and that was taken from her, which is why she wants revenge.
Yes.
But she's perfectly capable of achieving that on her own. She's going to go find an adventuring party to join her, and she's a bit teary-eyed, but she's not expressed any desire to have you guys stick around longer than is necessary.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, you.
Well,
Then,
maybe
yeah.
we just pester Stuart.
Mhm.
Yeah, off to the
Hey.
clout.
Stu.
Send us.
Call us
how do we-
clout
how do we-
chasers.
No. You are to be escorted
I don't mind.
to one of the remaining teleportation circles that we have.
Ooh. Good.
Now, I'm very conscious of the condition that you find yourselves in. He gestures towards Nugget and Haiku. I am hesitant to inform you that these teleportation circles are linked to the one that you originally used. However, my understanding of the curse that you have is that it is restricting you to the plane of the Fae, and that transportation throughout the plane of the Fae is not something that will have you turned into dead or stop you from. It's unclear to me what the effect would be if you left the Feywild, but that won't be a problem. These are not things that these teleportation circles are not things that are used frequently, and doing so is at a fair amount of expense to the Archfey herself. But she has deemed your cause worthy enough after you have assisted her so greatly. Now, if you would follow me. And he walks away. You find yourselves walking up the side of this cliff face. Now, not, sideways like Randall might, but eventually finding yourself a small staircase that is underneath the waterfall itself. And near the hide of Crenea that you were previously meeting. Now, you follow these stairs for some time. In fact, it takes you about 4 hours to climb up the side of this cliff face, you think.
Oh,
and that's with this just being a straight-up staircase, basically, that takes you the whole way. And at no snail's pace. It's a trek. But once you arrive...
Adventurers are just so it's such good shape.
Right? Imagine.
Hour.
Yeah.
I can't make it up a flight of stairs with my knees. Just absolutely not. Anyway, continue.
Now you arrive at the top of these huge cliffs. The water constantly, still flowing and crashing around you. Before getting to the top, and you have a moment of pushing yourself through a tide as the water crashes over and through you and past you, and pulling yourself up to face what you can see in front of you. Now you see almost an endless but very shallow pool of water. It's almost as if you have found yourself stood on a cloud that is filled to the brim with a pool. You look down off the cliff face and you can see where the water is pouring into the pools below. You see the maelstrom and you see trees as far as the eye can see. But up here, you see just a thin layer of water on top of a cloud. Now, a few steps away from you, you see this. He says if he can move you to the right place, which he can. He just needs to make his window a little larger.
Ooh.
Everyone seeing?
Yeah.
Ooh, spooky.
Okay.
Also, how pretty in a land of perpetual twilight to end up on the top of this endless thing of water. So it's you're surrounded by that sky above and below with the reflection.
Yeah, precisely. Beautiful. Now, this is the teleportation circle that you are presented with, and Stuart the steward walks with you to the center, and he says, "Now I will activate this circle, and I will do so shortly. Please note that this is not a direct trip. In fact, there is a network of teleportation circles that need to be navigated. I will initiate it, and I will have set the destination. Every portal that you teleport through, the final destination will be the cloud. It has been a long time since anyone has used many of these portals, especially to visit such a irrelevant place. Now,
I heard they have clout though.
I'm certain that they do, but also, who cares?
What happens if we get to one of the teleport circles too late and then miss it? Does that mess up every other one afterwards?
Yes. The changes. What if my train's late?
Yeah,
change.
flashbacks to the entire British rail network.
What if one of them is replaced with a bus?
It's impossible to miss them unless you leave this circle. I cannot express to you that it is important you do not leave this circle, or at least that if you do leave the circle, that you return to it before the next teleportation event.
Well,
This
just not
information is
leave.
going to be pertinent.
We need a week.
Pertinent. Oh, I mean, it's important that you stay within the circle.
I will.
Very well. Now I will start the ritual. As long as you are happy.
How do we know when we've arrived at the clout? What's it look like?
The clout is one of the minor courts of the Fae of giants.
What kind of giants?
You didn't know anything about this before?
No.
We didn't
agreeing to
really
go to
have
the
a
clout?
choice.
Very well. It is a very big giants.
Don't you speak giant, Oro? Am I remembering correctly?
Oro says yes in giant.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you knew anything about them. So this is good information.
I mean, whilst you have me available to you, I am willing to answer any more questions that you might have, but it is not a court that many pay much attention to.
Why?
Yeah.
Because the giants there are not well known for their court intrigue, which is what the Fae courts are most often known for.
Are they friendly giants?
Few of us have had issues with them over the years, and I say that as the Feywild has a fair amount of peace amongst the court, though many of the truces are delicate. Usually they are not volatile.
What kind of giants are they? Because there's kinds of giants, right?
They are big. I have never personally been to the court of the cloud.
Do you know of any customs that we should know?
Probably don't get squished.
Yes, that's
Truly,
yes, that's
truly,
sensible.
my knowledge of the cloud is limited.
That's fair. I mean, anything is better than nothing. So, Oh, what's the name of their leader?
Great question. Got it written down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I hope. In one of my many pages of notes.
No rush.
Oh shit. I don't know what page it's on. Fuck. I'm gonna have to come up with something and then retcon it in my notes. I can't remember all it is.
Can we say we had this conversation about the clout and there being giants on the 4-hour walk, and that on that 4 hours I just started teaching everyone basic giant talk, this is how you say hello.
Ooh, yeah.
This is how you ask where the bathroom is. This is where this is how you say what your favorite color is. Like Duolingo stuff.
Okay.
And you can just tell us the name later.
Folgir. We're going with Folgir.
Can you spell it?
Folgir.
Like Folgers, the coffee. Now I'm gonna call them Folger.
I had a name in one of my notes pages, but unfortunately, past Tom was less organized than present Tom, so I have to fix past Tom's mistakes.
Listen, no worries. Okay.
So we're sticking
¿Dónde
with
está
Folgir.
biblioteca? Sorry, I don't know why. I just saw Adam say where's the library, and then my brain I apparently am in Spanish mode. I can't think of anything else we would ask him. What else would we ask him about the clout?
I mean, if he's never been there, I don't know if there's much more we can ask him.
Yeah. Is Fulgir Is Fulgir a giant and an archfey? Can you be a giant and an archfey?
One of the reasons that many don't think especially highly of the Court of the Cloud is that very few of us consider them a court.
Oh, I see, I see.
To be a court, you need some kind of fey, usually an archfey, though they are of mixed quality. I'm not sure of Fulgir's lineage.
Do you think that they're just allowed to be called a court because everybody else doesn't want them to come squishing them?
I suspect that that is some component of it, yes.
Okay.
Many of the societies and organizations that you will have heard about in the Feywild have been around for longer than any of us can remember.
Do you know if when we leave, it will be the same time? Everybody keeps talking about how time is different here.
You mean when you return to the material plane?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, time will have passed, so it cannot be the same time, surely.
Right. Is there a way to know that the right amount of time has passed when we leave?
There is no such way. Not to my knowledge, anyway. Whilst I know the intricacies of some court business, I am but a steward.
Thank you all the same.
Now, if there is no other business, I hope to see you again sometime in the future. But for now, goodbye.
Do we need a ticket? Is anyone going to check out tickets?
He starts chanting, and then you interrupt him, and he's like, no. He starts chanting again.
Split ticket for each one of them.
He stands just off of our scene to the bottom here, and as he starts to chant, you see the sigils on the circular stone structure around you begin to light as they turn a bright blue and start to radiate their own beams that shoot off into the sky above you. Surely enough, you still feel the same sense of weightlessness as you did the first time that you came here, and I suspect Nugget and Haiku have a moment of deep anxiety about the fact that you've now associated that teleportation with this curse that you have gained. And you see Stuart the steward kind of casting his spell, and a look of concentration, but also, kind of reserved affection almost. He kind of just, he spent enough time with you on the 4-hour walk that he's grown slightly attached to you, and he's almost sad to see you go. But you leave knowing that you are in the care of someone who has not purposefully teleported you to a different plane in order to trap you there.
If that happened again.
Why do we keep trusting people?
Leaving behind just the Maelstrom, the axolotl friends that you had made, including the veiled well that you used to contact your friends, but also Chiasmus, who you hope is now off to start her own adventuring party, and maybe we'll hear more about her endeavors some other time. As you are feeling this weightlessness in your chest and almost your feet lift from the ground, you see the waters ripple around as the arcane powers that command this teleportation circle come to life, and as they do, the world changes around you. pouring with rain, slamming down onto your body, heavy droplets splashing around you in themselves, making their own kind of rain storms on the ground beneath you. The trees either side of you look like they are well used to the constant downpour that this particular area has. There is non-stop rain, and from the pools around you and from the sad-looking trees, it looks as if this is something that has gone on for quite a long time. Now, the effect of the magical rings around you starts to dim somewhat, and you can see that there is a pause, a brief pause, before they start to light up again. It's like a woo, woo, and as it starts to kind of charge up again, as if there's going to be some other kind of magical effect, another teleportation taking you somewhere else on the Feywild plane, you see a familiar silhouette. Outside of the magical circle, just to the south, you see a cart.
Potion
No
cellar
way.
again.
You see a cart, and you see the rope that is usually used to pull it limp. On the floor, next to the cart, you see a pool of blood. You see a body. You see big, heavy boots and a long red cap.
No.
Wait. The body is Barry. Is he dead?
Barry is not dead.
Oh, Barry is standing next to the body.
Yeah,
Okay.
Barry
has done the
killed the potion seller.
Mm-hmm. Probably because we took all the strong potions by lying.
Probably because the potion seller was being a fucking rude ass to him. Like, no, you're too weak for my potions. And Barry's like, want a bet?
I had a strong bond with the potion seller.
I know, I'm sorry.
And now I did not like Barry at all. So I'll be honest with you, I am tempted to run to it.
No.
No.
Circle starts to warm up, but you're not sure how long you've got.
How far away is the cart?
Let's have a look. It is about, let's say it's about here. I should have got a token ready. About 35 feet away from you. So it's at that kind of this little diamond shape here.
Nugget, grab Haiku. We're staying
push
in the
us the
circle.
You can't just leave him.
What are we supposed to do?
We
Give him
can't
a
leave the
funeral?
circle.
Tell his loved
Who, the
ones? What are we
potion
supposed
seller?
to do?
Why not we did yet? We can't let
Um,
Barry get away with this again, by the way. He's killing everyone.
Well, we didn't know before. We know now.
We don't
We
even know
Exactly.
where we are.
We're not getting out of this circle. Literally, we were told to not leave the circle.
I wanna
Yeah.
stand at the edge of the circle,
Uh-huh.
which is hopefully 30 feet away from the cart, and I want to try and open the cart and just grab some potions.
The edge of the circle. So the circle is this platform that you're stood on.
Okay.
It is 25 feet exactly.
Cool. I have Mage Hand, so Mage
Uh-huh.
Hand has a range of 30 feet,
Yeah.
and I want to try and snaffle some potions with
You're
Mage
gonna
Hand.
try and snaffle some potions.
Snaffle, what a good word.
Could I try and mage hand potion seller's body then at least?
No, so that's Mage Hand has a weight limit. So
10 pounds.
a potion, sure.
Well, it
A
might only be
body,
£10
no.
now.
They were old.
Is there maybe a
Old.
particular part of the body that you wanted to lift over that might be £10? Like a
What the
foot?
fuck?
Barry's just there like, what are you guys doing?
So you can't see, Barry's not facing you, but you see a long, red, wet, dripping red hat on a small form, big, heavy boots stood next to the body of what you can only assume is Astravigus, the potion seller.
How confident are we in that it's Astravigus on the floor?
Find out
You
if
can
there's
roll
no
me an
potions.
insight check. The DC is extremely low, but let's
I
just
feel
say
like it more likely be perception time.
I'll take it.
Oh, I can't believe that worked.
You're probably right. It probably would be more perception. Yeah. Okay. You are like 99% certain.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to summon
based on the shape of the cart that you've now seen a couple of times, this is the cart that Astravigus has. You're not certain it's Astravigus on the floor because it's just a limp body.
And Barry's looking away from us.
Barry is looking away from you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pull out my tiny Eldritch Fourth Ballista and shoot Barry in the back of the head.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I was
Barry
gonna do this
with
when
us.
we first met him, when he walked off after we realised what had happened.
You wanted to throw the frisbee, but he was gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be sort of poetic justice. Too late. The cannon's already out.
Okay, so you arm your cannon. You consume your cannon ability, and you shoot off into the distance.
We have
Would you
a
like to roll an attack?
teleporting battle with a...
Yeah, I like horror making enemies with someone. Oh god.
Can you roll on the critical miss?
Oh,
Oh
no.
my god. You throw your cannon outside the
my
circle.
God. You missed the
That's good, 'cause then I
train.
can tell it to explode.
1d100, please, Jack.
Ooh, that's a strong number.
Yeah.
That's a strong number.
Oh. Tough recovery. Go last in initiative next round.
Ah,
Okay, all right.
I forget
that's not so
high
bad.
on the fumbles isn't bad. So,
Yeah, that's not so bad. Okay, it just misses. Okay, yeah, all right. So you just kind of go and you shoot a bullet that goes
Emotion
whizzing
got the better of
past.
me.
Oh, you're livid. Not only because you already had a vendetta against Barry, but also that your friend now, someone that you've built a connection, is bloodied on the floor.
We had a rapport.
We had a rapport. He liked you and no one else,
I liked
apparently. And the shot echoes around the circle, even against the force of the rain that's almost deafening you around you. And surely enough, Barry turns around to you, drenched in blood. You can see it's now kind of pouring down his face as well from his hat. And he looks confused. He looks extremely confused.
Do I have enough time for a second shot?
I'm going to say that you've got one more round of actions before this teleportation circle goes off.
Am I able to grab any potions?
You are able to grab a potion. You grabbed one in the first round, yeah.
I'm just continuing to grab potions.
Okay, you're going to grab 2 potions. Another. You shoot at Barry, miss. He turns around, looks at you like, what? And then you shoot. Oh my god, okay, alright, Jesus! He ducks down. And as you do so, he kind of like, he picks up his sickle that was on the floor and looks like he's ready to go before the sigils start to light up and you are lifted off
This is
of the
definitely
ground.
not going to come back to haunt us, ever.
Yup. Yup.
Oh no.
Now Barry and Conlectus are going to join forces against us.
I've started some like interplane grudge.
Yeah.
Hopefully Barry doesn't know how to use the teleportation circles. Just like, chases us across a Feywild.
Maybe he cursed us for all we know. You know.
No, that was definitely Sushifer.
Okay. The rain stops its pitter-patter upon your head as you are lifted and transported instead to an entirely different place. Or you will be once I can select here. There we go. Instead, you are surrounded by the blossoms of cherry around you. It is bright, breezy, gentle here as you look around. You're surrounded by a peaceful scene. In fact, you hear a sound in the brush beside you.
Look.
You see what looks to be a equine figure.
Is it the unicorns?
Nugget, hold me back.
It is the unicorns, yeah. They have not noticed your presence yet. They appear to be playing. There are a couple of unicorns here, unicorn fawns, that are kind of like
Oh my God, baby.
bouncing around, and that enough appears to be. And remember, when they are capable of teleportation.
Yeah.
You saw the last time you saw some unicorns fortunately, they were very grateful to you specifically because you warned them of an incoming massive eagle, and that was what allowed them to. Haiku is just ranting about not helping him when we were the other.
If it had been any other situation, Haiku, except don't leave this portal, you have 6 seconds before everything gets ruined, and you're trapped in a place you don't even know where you are.
It seems they haven't noticed you yet. You suspect that the hum of the magical teleportation was not loud enough to interrupt their playing. They are kind of bounding amongst themselves, and you know that they're capable of teleporting, so it doesn't surprise you when you see one kind of disappear almost from existence and then reappear a couple of feet away, just to like playfully nudge the other with the side of its head.
Do I see the leader one anywhere?
You do, yeah. Watching on from the background.
Hi. I don't know,
Wave,
yeah.
You catch its attention. Are you going to try and catch its attention, or just wave?
Yeah, I think that was the like she doesn't know how to greet a unicorn, but she's just like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, hi.
You see for a moment that the unicorn, the clearly more mature of the unicorns, phases away from existence for a moment and then appears maybe 20 foot closer to you. At this point, they are like roughly here on the map.
Keep peeing again, sorry.
Here, about 20 feet away from you.
Okay, I don't leave the circle, but I'm definitely like right there, wherever the edge is, right here. Is that still on the circle? Is it the inner circle I have to be on, or the outer circle?
The outer circle. But within the outer circle, yeah.
I can be like right there. Okay.
The unicorn carefully and slowly moves towards you, and it keeps its eyes on you the whole time. Before getting a little bit closer and just slowly kind of like lowering its head and like a bow.
To get close enough that I can give it a little pet.
It not yet. No. If you wanted to, you would have to leave the circle. If you wanted to give it a pet.
Yeah,
just keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the circle at all times.
No. I'll just bow back.
Okay. All right. Well, it seems to kind of it evaluates each of you as it looks around the
What
group.
score did I get?
And seems to you each get a moment at which you like have made eye contact with this unicorn, and you get a sense of like it's like committing you to memory almost. Like you don't just get like a moment of like, oh, we're just looking at each other. You get like it's very clearly expending some effort to like evaluate you in some way or to commit your form to memory or something. As the circle starts to.
Picture of me.
You with your smoking gun. And the circle starts to light up. You feel yourself preparing to teleport away. Is there anything you want to do in this scene?
I'm glad you didn't get eaten by the bird. You're very beautiful.
Haiku, are you still ranting away?
Oh yeah.
You rant away to yourself as the
it's
circle...
more of a mumble under the breath.
Sure. It's funny that you
Stay
say
in the
that.
circle.
As the circle lights up and you are teleported away. Now, you are teleported to a twisted realm, almost.
This is nearly as good.
You hear quiet, or disquiet, actually, as it is a break in what otherwise seems like silence. You see tangible, intangible wisps around you of arcane forms that almost seem to cling on to stone as they move past it, but also don't look like you could touch them yourselves. They make you feel like you're in danger. And as you listen for that break in the silence, you hear originally something that initially something that doesn't concern you because it sounds like haiku is just babbling to themselves. But it gets louder, and you start to realize that it's not haiku actually. But you can hear a
Scatman John.
I'm the scat man.
Where does it sound like it's coming from?
It sounds like it's coming from the south.
Do I see anything?
Roll me a perception check. It's getting closer to you, but yet to come into vision.
Can I
Does
help?
it sound like a spell's being cast? God, no, I'm spending another sorcery point. Absolutely not. We're not doing this today. Thank you.
Oh, they're getting some sorcery points again. Those value, though, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It does
they are.
not sound like a spell is being cast.
Okay.
Is that what you were losing that perception for, or is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I could see something, but mostly that would be her worry, is that there's some magic afoot that
You
she could
see
counter.
through the trees a large form. You think it looks at least 15 feet tall, and you can see that the body of the trunk of the tree that you're observing is moved aside by the sheer size of this particular creature. The stones around you come to a quiet standstill. And as they start to power up again, you hear that babbling get louder.
I point out where he's coming from.
It's coming from the south.
Mm-hmm.
The tree directly in front of you cracks under the pressure of one hand as this creature reveals itself. It is a confusing image that initially makes you think that it is a kind of a draconic figure. It is a pale green with a very long, elongated neck and spindly arms that eventually end with wings. It has a long, kind of curved body, as its like torso and lower half don't appear to be fully connected in a kind of way that makes sense. It has a gaping lower jaw and huge bulbous disc-like eyes as it moves towards you with haste at the sound of the circle starting to power up.
I cast slow.
Okay. We will first
No. No. Stop. And that
We will
sentence.
not.
show you an image of this particular creature.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's not good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I drew.
Oh, yeah, not quite scuffed pterodactyl.
You want to see
Not
my
quite
rough
up
description of what I was like that? Yeah,
I
exactly.
think I
the same.
prefer that one actually.
A scuffed pterodactyl.
Now, I will allow an Arcana or Nature check
Me.
to see if someone can figure out what this is before we end our session for today.
An Arcana.
Looks at haiku. Yeah,
I can
exactly.
help. Whoa, nice.
Tense Atmos music is very tense but very quiet. Oh my god, a 29?
Mhm.
Okay. You recognize this from descriptors that you've heard from maybe 20 different sources, each describing a different part of this creature's body. And you immediately put it all together. You've only heard whispers of a creature that is so similar to this, and it is deeply alarming to hear that this is the creature that is presented to you right now. This is a Jabberwock. It is a predator.
Mhm.
of the forests, the Feywild. Its terrifying form is something that few people have lived to tell tales about, and when they do, they don't often describe it consistently. And we'll end our session there.
Can I make one quick request that I
Yeah.
didn't want to interrupt you? Is there any way that I could have been able to figure out what the address for the unicorn teleportation circle was? Is that a thing that you can find with these teleportation circles?
Do you have a DM inspiration?
No.
Then no,
I do
I'm
not.
afraid not. You might have been able to in the moment, but you didn't ask, and
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing that DM
Yeah.
inspiration is for, unfortunately.
I feel like that's the thing that they're gonna get there, and Nerly's gonna be like, I should have done that.
Yeah. Right, well, we end our session there for today, a little bit earlier than usual, but I didn't want to start and give you 15 minutes of getting fucked up by a Jabberwock.
What? I thought we were
Wait,
gonna
the teleporter circle will
teleport
go off.
Yeah,
away.
just teleport
What?
away.
Oh,
We're just
okay,
teleporting
well,
away.
we'll play games next week.
Oh, I was
sure,
finishing
this
early.
one takes hours, but the other ones didn't.
What do you mean?
You know what? Honestly, as scary as the Jabberwock seems, I'm probably a little more afraid of Barry. Because anyone who can be like, whose existence depends on bathing in blood and can gleefully do that and then just turn around and play frisbee scares me way more. Who's just like hungry, right? Like,
Yeah, you get some drama, get some spoopiness,
mhm.
and a little bit of NPC murder
Yeah.
as a treat. Just a cheeky little bit of.
Oh
NPC
no,
murder,
the
yeah.
poor potion seller whom I definitely felt fondly towards.
Well,
Should be
I
glad
mean-
it was raining in that place because Haiku shed a tear.
It's raining in my heart.
Well, next week we will face off against a Jabberwock and see what is awaiting our players at the Clout, the eventual destination, we hope, of this portal.
I hope
But-
it's called Cloud because they're cloud giants.
Guess we'll find out.
It's actually Cloud the whole time, but somebody mispronounced it and nobody goes there. Court of Cloud.
But that is our session for today. Game over, man. Game over.
GG's.
GG's.
G-O.
all.
G-O.
Game over. Do you think we'll be here next week?
Adam made a
I
reference,
thi-
I'm telling.
I think so.
There's been a
my
bunch of references.
God.
A bunch.
Sorry.
Yeah, GG's. It was fun playing.
Yeah, GG's. We should be here next week, I think.
I
Well, it's the
think
day
so.
think
after
so.
Guy Fawkes Day, so who knows? We'll be
On fire.
enjoying fireworks.
Nope.
Nope.
Neighbours? No.
So we'll see you next week, hopefully, probably. Thanks for
Yeah.
hanging.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Halloween. Bye.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Samhain.